Today, we saw furniture from the crime scene in Moscow, Idaho, being loaded into trucks and taken away. CNN's Gary Tuckman is on the scene for us as investigators try to work out exactly what happened inside that building.
In the probable cause affidavit, a Moscow, Idaho police corporal says after finding the victims who were killed, "I noticed what appeared to be a tan leather knife sheath laying on the bed." The Idaho State Lab later located a single source of male DNA left on the button snap of the knife sheath. Police say the DNA is suspect Brian Kohlberger's.
This is the house where the college students were killed. According to the affidavit, when police arrived, they went through that door where the Christmas wreath is. On the second floor to the right of the door is the bedroom where Xana Kernodle and Ethan Chapin were killed. Also on the second floor to the left, in the back of the house, according to the affidavit, that's where the witness DM was. And finally, on the third floor, you see that window right there. According to the affidavit, that's where Kaylee Gonsalves and Madison Mogan were, and that's where the knife sheath was found.
Based on the affidavit, it appears Brian Kohlberger has been near this house many times before. The affidavit indicating Kohlberger's cell phone signal was detected 12 times near the house over a period of 5 months prior to the murders. All of these occasions, except for one, occurred in the late evening and early morning hours of their respective days.
It wouldn't necessarily be suspicious if Brian Kohlberger drove past this house 12 times over 5 months if these were busy or prominent streets, or streets on the way to another neighborhood. But to come here, you have to be looking for it. These roads are windy, they're narrow, they're curvy.
In short, it seems difficult to accidentally end up here. The affidavit states that one of the students who survived with the initials DM heard crying and opened her door 3 times. She saw a figure clad in black clothing and a mask that covered the person's mouth and nose walking towards her. DM described the figure as 5'10" or taller, male, not very muscular, but athletically built with bushy eyebrows. The male walked past DM as she stood in a frozen shock phase. The male walked towards the back sliding glass door. DM locked herself in her room after seeing the male. DM did not state that she recognized the male. This turned out to be critical information because on November 25th, shortly after the murders, Moscow police asked law enforcement agencies to be on the lookout for a white Hyundai Elantra that had been seen near the murder site.
4 days later, police discovered a white Elantra in this parking lot just across the state line in Pullman, Washington. According to the affidavit, it was registered to Kohlberger, who lived up these stairs in this townhouse complex. Police acquired his driver's license information, and they say, according to the affidavit, that it was consistent with DM's description of the man she saw, who was wearing black clothing and a mask.
The affidavit does not contain information about motive or if the alleged killer knew any of the victims, but authorities could very well have leads about those topics that are not being publicly released yet.
Next Thursday in this courthouse behind me, Brian Kohlberger will have another hearing. This will be a status hearing to discuss scheduling in the case. Within the next couple of weeks, he will be arraigned.